Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we're going to talk about cherry picking a couple of varieties via this open box video that we have here, because I got a few things back from the NGC, and we're going to go ahead and take a look and see these coins here that are a variety coin that are pretty easy to cherry pick, I think. Of course, Susan B. Anthony's one of the long forsaken coin series. But you know, because the coins are struck the modern style with a copper, nickel, metal and modern dies, it's that they're not the most attractive coin. I get it. Of course, Susan B. Anthony, really actually a national treasure in a way, but I mean, people don't really know much about her. So this don't judge her based on the collar she wore. That was just the time period. Okay, so this is called the wide rim. Sometimes it's called a near date because of the rim. Whoop, let's use this side, shall we? Because the date of the coin is near the rim, right? And so you'll see it referenced both ways as either wide rim or near date. Either way, it has everything to do with the proximity of the rim and the date. And we'll have an example to show you. This one came back MS65. Market on it's probably 40 bucks or 50, something like that. The point is, we sent it in to be able to have this comparison to show to you what the coin will look like on a normal versus the wide rim. So let's find the same mint mark here, the Philadelphia, and let's see the proximity of the rim and the date. And you can kind of get a feel for how big that gap is between the rim and the date on this coin. You can fit the whole length of the needle there, the front end on that one, and on this one it's just barely, whoop, sorry, the camera's going to focus on the wrong thing because I did that. Just barely the tip kind of just fits in there instead of the whole needle. But that's something that you can find sometimes in rolls or just in proof sets, or mint sets, not proof sets. And so kind of a fun thing to look up and find, because most of these sets here you can find and they're just a couple bucks a coin, and then if you can get the variety, it adds a little bit of value to it. So not super scarce. These coins are extremely difficult to get in really, really high grade. We had a couple that we picked up that we sent in on kind of the economy service, and because the coins themselves are usually just a buck or two. Then if you get the variety and slab them, maybe you make a couple bucks as far as the monetary considerations are or go. I mean, some of you that's all you live for. Others you couldn't care less, but I like to just include it for the information. All right, next up, another coin that is commonly cherry picked, something you can find, is this 1970S small date. So there's all kinds of different things that go on here with the 70S small date. I am going to try to avoid using the term re-engraved, reworked dies, changes in dies, actual changes, actual different dies, because the location of the 7 relative to the 9 is what a lot of people teach on this, because sometimes on the small date here, they will call this one the high 7. Actually, I would say that's actually backwards. High 7, low 7. See, I don't ever. I'm laughing at myself because I have it written down here as the high 7, and I think it's actually supposed to be the low 7. But because what I always look at is the Liberty, the real weak Liberty. Which seems like a strange thing to look at, but the T and the Y in Liberty are usually almost all the way gone on these small dates. This is an MS64 red, which is probably a $40 or $50 coin. By way of comparison, let me grab this other 70S, and that way we can look at something here with, the 7 and the Liberty, and just kind of see some of the differences here. All right, the common type has the strong Liberty, and the top of the 7 here I thought should be higher. Let's see where that 7's at. 7 to 9, 7 to 9. Yeah, no. I'm just going to stick with the Liberty here. So yes, this seems backwards because the small date actually has the high 7. You look at where the 7 is relative to the 9, and the large date, because I'm thinking about the 7, I need to be thinking about the 9, because the whole thing was different, right? High 7, low 7. The 7's almost drops below the 9 and the 0 on there, and this one, the 7 is higher. Let me find another one here so we can take a closer look. Some of the worst footage of all time here. But like I said, I almost always just look at the Liberty first to see if that Y is almost all the way gone. There'll be all kinds of die polish over there. And then once again, let's see if we can get that 7 as the high 7. And that's going to be the small date. Small date, MS65 red, probably a $65 to $75 coin in 65 red. So those both pan out. Maybe you want to pan out completely. Let's get on to something that's a little bit more fun than those guys. At least I think they're a little bit more fun because they're items that are really hard to assess any type of value on. And this is going to be this. We got a 1991. You know, those. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the modern looks for piercings nowadays, but you know, you get like your just random little jewels stuck on your face. Well, that's what this reminded me of immediately. So this is a struck through error. There's something in between the planchet and the die that it struck through and came out, and so it leaves that big empty space. This is useful for you because you can kind of get a look and feel for if something's a scratch or not. Sometimes it's hard for me to describe other than the surface quality. Once you see a lot of them, you just know, like, okay, that's actually where material was and then it pulled off, versus something that is you know, a scratch. So this one they called a Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. Not sure, these will probably end up on eBay. By the way, just as a side note, when we put videos up, if there's inventory from the videos that are available for sale, usually down in the show notes we'll have a link to that. And so sometimes coins that are odd like this we probably just throw on eBay and let them ride. And then for, you know, other things, you'll see there'll be links. If it's available, it'll be on our website. So likewise, this is another point at which you can look at a coin and see what the difference is between like a scratch and a strike through, because this is a strike through, and this is a kind of cool one because it's really a chunky piece, right? It's not too small. It actually has some pretty big divots. It actually looks a lot like my golf game now that I think about it. Yeah, that was me swinging the club right there. Hit the ball? Why? The ground is right there. So this is a really nice big chunky piece taken out, like 2 little spots there. And yes, I should have had it labeled Ben's Golf Swing. So 1973S, which is a little bit tougher date. The toughest on that for the proofs is the silver one, but 69 Cameo struck through. Pretty cool piece. Also, probably have it on eBay and let people decide what they think it's worth, because it's kind of hard to really assess exact values. These are coins that will probably start at $100 or something, and see if anyone wants them. So anyway, kind of fun stuff. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.